Hey everybody, welcome back to the Smart Workshop. I'm Joe, and thanks for joining me for yet another video. Today we're getting close to finishing our Zabbix series. If you've been around IT for any period of time, you know that you can't just start up services and hope that they'll just keep running forever. That's not what happens. They will degrade, they'll fall apart, they'll start to not perform well. And monitoring is really the key of you getting alerted when there's a problem and you can fix it quickly. If you're new to this series, I recommend you go back to the beginning, go ahead and start through and get your Zabbix environment up and running. This is a free open source monitoring platform, runs wonderfully in your home lab environment. Today, we're going to be spending some time getting your Zabbix Agents installed on your servers. We've spent the first part of this series getting the core of the environment set up and running. We introduced a template to get website and web services up and running easily and efficiently. So today, let's go ahead and get those agents loaded up on all of your systems in your environment. If we go back to our lab environment and take a quick look at the demonstration Zabbix environment that I've built out throughout this video series, you'll see we just have a couple website monitors in there now, but we're not monitoring any actual servers. Well, let's fix that today. So what I have here is a fresh node in my cluster. This is a Docker Swarm cluster, and I already have Docker loaded up and that's all working well. This process will work equally well across really any Debian variant. So that's like, of course, core Debian, Ubuntu, Armbian, any of those kind of common Debian flavors of Linux. Let's go ahead and get our Zabbix agent installed. So start with a sudo apt update, just to make sure all of your repositories are up to date. And then let's pull that agent. Now, the latest iteration of the Zabbix agent is referred to as the Zabbix Agent 2. It's got a little bit more feature rich. So whenever that's an option, you want to choose that. For this, it's just going to be sudo apt install Zabbix-agent 2, and we'll let that run. Installs really quick. So we need to do just a little bit of lightweight configuration to get it ready for our environment. So let's edit the main configuration file. So put the path to that here below. Now it's a big file. There's really only a couple lines we need to edit. Our first line to edit is going to be this server equals. Default is going to have an IP address in here. I believe it's just going to be set to the loopback adapter 127.0.0.1. That's not going to do you much good if you're trying to send this out to an actual monitoring server. You can use an IP address or you can use a fully qualified DNS name. I highly recommend you map a DNS name to your Zabbix server so that if you ever move that server around, you don't have to go back and touch every single one of your servers to reconfigure where it points to. A little further down, we're going to be looking for the server active equals. Go ahead and uncomment that out if it's commented by default. And again, use the same either IP address or fully qualified DNS name of your Zabbix server. And then the last item I want you to change, by default, the host name, it's just hostname equals Zabbix server. That's actually not really helpful. We don't want it to report as Zabbix server. That doesn't make any sense. Down a little further here, uncomment this line here where it says HostnameItem equals, and it's system.hostname. Just uncomment this line and it should look like this. And now it's going to report whatever the host name is on this machine back to Zabbix. Perfect. Okay. So save this file. While we're at it, if this is a Docker host for you, I want to show you how to enable the Docker plugin for the Zabbix agent. If it's not a Docker host, then don't worry about that. Just skip this part, but I'll show you because there's some plugins in here that could be helpful for you. Head over to this path here and let's take a look at the default list of plugins that are already available to be enabled. None of them are enabled by default, but you've got a few in here and you'll see one of those is Docker. So we're going to edit that. And when you come in here, all you're going to need to do is uncomment this plugins.docker.endpoint line. Boom. And what this is going to do is give it access to the Docker sock, which is kind of how it can reach into the Docker environment on this local machine. And go ahead and save this file. Before we go any further, we need to make sure that the account that Zabbix Agent is using has rights to Docker, okay? First, let's take a look at what this is running as when it runs as a service. If we look at the unit file for the Zabbix Agent, and we go down to the service itself, you'll see that the user and group that it's running as is Zabbix and Zabbix. Makes sense, right? Now, in order for this account, Zabbix, to be able to access the Docker services, it needs to be part of the Docker group on this system. And the way you'll accomplish that is simply just by adding the Zabbix user account on this machine to the Docker group account on this machine, which will allow it to read the Docker sock. You'll run sudo usermod -a G, and then the name of the group that you want to add to, which is Docker, and then the account that you want to add to that group, which is Zabbix. Hit enter, it'll add it to that group. Okay, great. Now we've got everything in place. We just need to restart that service so that everything picks up and starts working. Back in our Zabbix dashboard, we're going to want to add that host into here. Little teaser, in our next video, we're going to be configuring auto discovery. In this demo environment, we're not quite there yet, so we're going to add that in by hand, and I'll show you how to do it. Go to monitoring, go to hosts, create host, and we're going to give that a name, host groups, and templates. We're going to add 2 templates to this particular machine. Regardless of whether or not you're running Docker on this machine or not, at the very least, you want to have the Linux template for it. So we're going to choose Linux by Zabbix Agent, since we're collecting the stats from this machine by an agent. Because this is a Docker host, I'm going to add Docker in here as well. Docker by Zabbix Agent. This is going to tell this monitoring object all the different attributes that it should try to parse out of that incoming data feed from the agent. Great. Okay, now we need an interface. So we've given it a host name, but that's just an arbitrary field for us. We need to actually wire the two together. So when you click add, you want to select agent as the type, and you can do either the IP address or that host name of that machine. So we'll add that host, and it shows up in our list. Perfect. Now what we're waiting for here is the availability on this still shows gray, and it says ZBX, which is our indication that it is a Zabbix agent monitored host. So as it's polling the system, the two are communicating. Once that data starts to populate, this item should turn green. And it did. That's good. That's healthy. That means that the Zabbix agent itself has checked in with the Zabbix server, and it's healthy and it's polling data. Now, if we look at your latest data link here, since we're pulling Linux data and Docker data, you'll see we've got a lot of attributes that this is pulling in. And from here, your Zabbix environment will continue to monitor that system, and it'll give you an alert if there's any problems with it. We also have now on our dashboard, because again, we just had that one server for our example, we're able to see real-time CPU statistics for that system. And we can drill into that and look at long-term trending data as well. Next up, we're going to be setting up auto discovery. So we can define the subnets in your environment and how often to pull them and what to do when new devices are discovered on those subnets. In this example here, where we had to manually plug in this host, you can set up auto discovery to automatically do that. So if you had a server subnet that is full of Docker hosts and various things, when it detects a new system on there, it would automatically add it in here and go ahead and tag it onto templates so that it's monitoring all the things that you want right out of the box without you doing much. Thanks for watching today. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Joe with the Smart Workshop, and I'll see you next time.